Hi, my name's Joe Brickner. I'm hosting a podcast that's based on the book that I just wrote called So You Want to Be a Coach. It documents kind of what I went through in order to make a drastic career change back when I was 50 years old. I'd been a corporate executive um, who always wanted to be a basketball coach. And I never thought I'd get the opportunity to do that, but it was kind of a miracle that it happened for me. And it was not only a basketball coach, but also a college basketball coach at my alma mater, which you can't get much better than that. So for me, it was a dream job. And I documented kind of what I went through in order to be in a position to help make that happen. Once I got there, kind of found out that maybe it wasn't everything that I thought it was. And I walk you through in the book itself. I take you and I walk you through the experience that I had. I was a head basketball coach for 12 years. And like I say, I was my alma mater, which is Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas. So I decided after I had retired that I'd write about my experience, and it took me 10 years to do so. And in the book, it tells you why it took me 10 years to do that. But the book itself is kind of a story about how I had to build a foundation in order to be in a position to have an opportunity to make a drastic career change like I did. And that foundation was based not only on athletics, but it was also on education and on finance. Because if I didn't have all those three pieces put together, I probably wouldn't have that opportunity. Once I wrote the book and told people about that experience of being a head basketball coach at the small college level, I really did address the fact that this was my dream job. And then later in the book, you find out, is the grass always greener on the other end or not? Was it worth it to make that major change? Because it really did affect my family drastically. And it ends up with talking about why people want to be coaches. What is it that makes people, and a lot of times it's guys. Now, I think it's changing now with women being so involved in athletics. I think it's changing so that it affects women as it does men. But so many men have always said, if I could do anything, I'd want to be a coach. And why is that? And I address that in my final chapter in the book. So I've decided that since I actually have completed the book, it's for sale on Amazon, but I wanted to take it a step further because this book talks about my experience, and mine's not the same as everybody else's. And what I wanted to do with podcasts was to bring on guests, be they coaches, be they corporate executives, be they ministers even, from a servant leadership standpoint. But if I could bring those people on and just talk about the concepts that are in the book and what their experience is compared to the experience that I had, I think it'd be educational for a lot of people. And I also think that it would be entertaining. Now, my first guest is going to be Kenny Berry. And if you're my age, you know who Kenny Berry is. If you're younger, you probably don't. But Kenny was an all-star center fielder for the Chicago White Sox. And I met Kenny back about 2 years after I got to college. Kenny used to come back to Topeka every winter after the season was over. And he always had a city league basketball team that was in the top league and always really competitive. Well, he'd asked me, I was living in Topeka at the time, and he asked me to play for him. That's how I got to know Kenny. Boy, he's a great competitor, great athlete. Well, he was not only an all-star center fielder, he was a Golden Glove winner, played 11 years in majors. After he left his playing days, he became a minor league coach, manager, tutor. He spent 26 years doing that. And so my first interview is going to be with Kenny because I really want to know, did he have the same type of experiences with baseball players versus basketball players? A little bit older probably than some of the kids that I coached in college. And what is his take from reading the book? Is it similar, or would he disagree with some of the things that I talk about? And if you know Kenny, which he knows a lot of people, but if you know him, he's got some really entertaining stories, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of visiting with him. I've got a number of other coaches lined up also to visit with them, and my plan is to at least once a month put out a new podcast with a new guest and talk about these concepts about coaching and dream jobs, etc. So I hope you'll be able to join me. You can go to my website, www.drjoebrickner.com. On there, you can sign up for the newsletter, and that'll put you on a mailing list that I can send out to you when the new podcast comes out. There's also a page on there where you can go to it and actually listen to podcasts that have been recorded previously. So if this is something that interests you, if coaching is, if servant leadership is something, and managing employees, making a comparison between managing and coaching, if those types of topics interest you, I think you'd find it really interesting to tune in on the podcast that we're going to have coming up very soon. So I hope to see you all in the future. If you have any comments, whatever, anything that you'd like to discuss, or maybe somebody you'd like for me to actually interview, feel free to go out onto the website. And again, it's www.drjoebrickner.com. And down, if you'd actually click on the page that has the podcasts on it, there's a comment section down at the bottom. And if you fill out a comment there, I'll be happy to address it. And hopefully we can create a relationship here. So again, thanks for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.